Welcome to Sports Center. From our nation's capital, I'm Scott Van Pelt. We got an hour with you to cover the day in sports, and there is a lot to get to. We will get right to Donovan Mitchell, who joins us after the Jazz win 2 in a row and retake home court advantage. And Donovan, thanks for stopping by. Your teammate Mike Conley certainly knows this franchise well that you're going up against, having spent so much time there. They're a rugged bunch. They're young, but how do you best describe the challenge that they're presenting? It took a 12-2 run for you guys to get this win.
Yeah, man, I've said this for a while. This team can compete. This team can compete. They fight hard. They got a leader in Ja who's, a really talented player. The biggest thing, man, was we just did it mentally. We had some physical mistakes, but mentally we executed. We did things. We got stops when we needed. We had a few breakdowns, but it's how you respond. That's what the playoffs are about. You're going to make mistakes, but how do we respond? And you got to give them credit. They fought, and Game 4 is going to be even harder, so we just got to be locked in for that.
We're going to talk to Joel Embiid a little bit later about not the process in Philly, but the process of the playoffs and growing. It's an evolution. And I just wonder, Donovan, for you and for your team, being the one, it seems like it would have to be different. What feels different about being that? An obligation that comes with it, wearing a target? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, even if we weren't number one, man, after last year, we came out with something to prove. I think that's the biggest thing, is understanding that we didn't finish last season the way we wanted to, and coming out and, the regular season is great and all, being the one seed's great, but we got to take care of business here in the playoffs, and it starts with games like tonight, continually battling, fighting through, and it's not going to get any easier for us. We're not going to come pick our way into anything, and I think we all know that, accept that, and going out there every night. And obviously, there's external noise about us being the one seed and can we do it, but the biggest thing is within ourselves. We stay calm, cool, collected, and continue to play.
Last one here before you get back to your guys in the locker room. It was 17 games in 39 days that you're out. And I'm sure the rest is nice on one level, but like NBA wind, I have to imagine is a different thing. How long does it take to feel like, okay, I'm right? I mean, you played well, but I just wonder how you feel in terms of how you normally feel if you hadn't sat for as long as you did.
To be honest with you, I didn't play well. I was there in moments, but, I think there was times I missed my teammates on a few things, and there's things I could definitely do better. That's my biggest mindset. Understanding, like you said, it's been 39 days, but I'm not going to give myself any leeway. I got to be better. This is the playoffs. It's my job to go out there and lead this team. We did a really good job of that tonight. And the biggest thing is, like you said, you got to play. You can work out, you can run a marathon if you want, but game shape is different, especially in the playoffs. You just got to be ready and adjust to it. And, they got guys over there who can defend. Dillon Brooks is a hell of a defender. Making it tough.
Yeah, he is.
He's got to go out there and continue to battle through.
If I skipped 39 straight days, I would do a garbage show when I came back, I promise you. So it looks a whole lot tighter than my shows would if I skipped that long. Congratulations on the victory, man. Thanks for taking time. It's been too long. Good to talk again, all right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Scott. Thank you.
All right, indeed. 3 little things on this great Game 3. The Jazz match a playoff franchise record with 11 threes in the first half. They wound up making 19, matching their Game 2 performance for the second most ever in a playoff game. This is the modern NBA, and they play it really, really well. Hitting 7 of those threes, the man we were just talking about, Mike Conley, who is the Grizzlies' all-time leading scorer, was playing in his first road playoff game in Memphis, which has got to be weird. Matches his most ever in a playoff game, tied for the second most by any Jazz player. Such an important win for the Jazz after splitting games in Salt Lake. Across NBA history, the winner of Game 3 with the series tied at 1 apiece has gone on to win the series 73% of the time. All right, so here's where things stand. We take stock of the Western Conference after the victory. The Blazers also got a massive win to even up the series with the Nuggets. Lakers and Mavs both have a chance to get to a 3-1 lead in their respective games on Sunday. More NBA on the way. Joel Embiid on the process, not the one that you heard so much about, a different one. And Tim Legler on the Jazz and the Grizzlies. Similar script here, except the team that's up 2-0 is now home. That's Dallas. Luka and Kawhi going head-to-head. And Luka on fire! He was clowning, smiling, hitting. Oh, you're going to put Zubats on me. 11 in the first 3 minutes, ties him for the most by a player in the last 23 seasons. Mavericks up by as many as 19. One billionaire happy, the other not so much. But this Clipper team, they find their resolve and they find solid footing. Paul George hits the three. Kawhi, man, he had such a big night. And it's a 3-point deficit after the first, after it looked like they were going to get dump trucked. George, Splappa, Kawhi. They were 4 of 6 from beyond the arc in the first half. Then George, step back. At 19-point deficit, yeah, it's now a 3-point lead. Now it's 1. Make it 3. Leonard and George, 18 of 22 shooting in the first half. Highest percentage in any half as teammates. They should play together more, Steve. It works out well when they do. Clippers with the lead. Luka in the fourth down. Off the miss, put back. 3-point deficit. Ensuing possession. Kawhi. Yeah, how's that eye full of 3 feel? 77, not so much fun. And Kawhi kicks out. Rondo down the lane. And the lead grows to 8 midway through the fourth. It's now 9. Kawhi kicks to the corner. Marcus Morris, big 3. Things got a little chippy, understandable. But the Clippers, a game they obviously had to have, and they got it. A 10-point victory after being down early by 19. Both Leonard and George dialed in 24 of 35 when it was over from the floor. That 68.6 field goal percentage, highest in any game as teammates, regular season or playoffs. Well, we welcome in Tim Legler. And Tim, I asked you earlier tonight what had to happen. We had to slow down Doncic at the start. Well, as we saw, that did not happen. The 2 stars for the Clippers were great, but this time of year, it's not just the stars. You got to get something from other spots. What else did they get on Friday night?
Yeah, Scott, you hit on it. First thing you need to do down 0-2 in the series when you lose 2 at home, your stars have to be great. You're not going to survive this situation if they're not. And they both were. Give them credit. But I love the way they moved the ball and the way they took advantage of a Dallas defense that made some horrible decisions on closeouts at the end of this game. When Clippers come down, they're moving this basketball around. There is no need for Kristaps Porzingis to go in a dead sprint out to Reggie Jackson and leave Morris wide open for the corner 3. But the extra pass gets it done. Here, once again, Kawhi's going to draw 2 on this reversal. Luka is upright. He's sprinting out to 30 feet to guard Rajon Rondo. No need to do that. Rondo takes advantage, puts it on the ground, gets all the way to the rim. And then one more bad decision. You have 2 guys, again, closing out at the same time on Reggie Jackson and allowing one more pass to the corner. So it was a combination in the biggest moments of the game of the Clippers making sure that multiple guys touched the basketball, and then the Dallas Mavericks just really doing a poor job defensively communicating when they were scrambling around out of those double teams and out of the pressure they were putting on Kawhi Leonard. So give the Clippers a lot of credit. They played with a lot of poise. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the box scores speak for themselves tomorrow. If you didn't see the game, you could pick it up and realize, yep, those guys played pretty darn well. But for me, had his fingerprints all over this game. He also guarded Luka Doncic very effectively in the fourth quarter of this game. That might be something to look at going forward. More Rondo on the court, more minutes when Doncic is, and putting him out there to pester him and harass him and bother him. Their offense completely bogs down. If Luka Doncic doesn't have the basketball, I think the Clippers found something defensively in the second half of this game that they're going to use going forward. Let's see what adjustments Dallas can make now.
I thought the Mavs helped them too early. Like they got shot happy quick. And I get it, you're trying to bury them, but they allowed the Clippers to creep back in it in a hurry. And as we saw, they had the lead by the half. Now look, it's just one win, and Luka did have 44. But if you're giving me a snapshot of what you think happens by the end of this series, what are you looking at? Which team you like?
I think Dallas wins the series if something very important happens. They cannot be this one-dimensional offensively. If you take a look at the second half of this game, The way that guys catch it and immediately their eyes start going back, where's Luka, trying to get the ball back to him. You've got to get more out of Kristaps Porzingis. And just throwing him the ball for these elbow post-ups and 20-foot post-ups, there's got to be something more creative to get him the ball in spots where he can be effective. Josh Richardson is a guy that I think needs to get more involved. Hardaway didn't have a very good shooting night, but he also didn't get very many touches. They were very sporadic and spread out. The only other guy, to me, besides Doncic, that looked like he was in rhythm was Jalen Brunson. That looked like a normal night for Brunson. Those other guys, it was so few and far between their decent opportunities. At times, I forgot they were even in the game. Dallas has to do a better job. This is not going to be Luka Doncic beating this team by himself. If they make that adjustment, get better balance, I think they can win Game 4 and take command of this series.
Look forward to this time of the year all year long. A chance to talk playoff basketball with you, Tim. We're just in the first round, so we got a lot of it to come, and I look forward to it. Thank you.
Me too, Scott.
Still to come. Stephen A. will join the